Alright guys, November 1st. Welcome back to the sawmill. Got a lot of beating and banging going on over here behind us. The farmer 2 fields away is building a pole barn, it looks like. Probably have a lot of background noise going on. They got a bobcat running. Looks like they're putting siding on this morning. So anyways guys, a little chilly this morning. It's 34 degrees. It was about 91 2 weeks ago. Just some crazy weather we've been having. Rained all day yesterday. Man, it rained a lot yesterday and last night both. So we finally got this on the sawmill. I think I got this log back in the spring. I think that's when Mr. Burke brought it over here. He's a fireman. He's a volunteer fireman. Also, he's a fireman at a local factory. And he does tree work on the side. And that's where a lot of my timber comes from. So anyways, guys, this is a box elder. It's out of the maple family, so it will spalt if you let it. And this one's been on the ground for a while, and based on what I'm seeing on the end grain, it's probably already started the spalting process. I had to do a little rigging down here on the bottom, get this pith level, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But this should be a pretty good log. It's been on the ground since the springtime, like I was saying, so we have some spalting going on the end grain. I'll bring the camera in on the measurements and show you guys what I'm talking about. We'll be doing 9/4 slabs on this one, and the width should be pretty good. We should get 20 inches, at least 20-inch wide slabs or wider on some of them. The small end is going to be facing us today on the operator side, and the taper is not too bad, but the large end, it does flare out just a little bit bigger down there. So hopefully down here, once we get toward the bottom, the slabs will swell out to maybe 24 inches if we're lucky. So let's bring the camera in and go over these measurements and show you guys what I'm talking about and show you what I had to do to get this log level and get the Yanmar fired up and get to sawing. So this is the operator side right here, and it's also the small end. And the way I got it turned, the diameter is right at 23 inches. It was 24 inches the other way, but this way right here would get us a lot clearer timber once we start sawing. There was too many knots when I had it turned the other way. Got the pith already centered up. It's 14.5 inches from the saw bed on both ends. And as you can see right here on this end grain, there's a lot of colors going on. There's a lot of black streaks coming through here. Pretty good shape here. These should be some really valuable slabs once we saw them out, especially if they're spalted, plus have those red streaks in the grain. On the large end, which will be facing away from us while we're sawing today, the diameter that's going to be parallel with the saw head is going to be about 27 inches. So we should flare out down here on these slabs to maybe 26 inches on the width. It probably won't catch 27, but between 24 and 26 on the width once we work our way down. So sometimes when you have a short piece of timber like this one, it's barely 7 feet long. It lies in the bed just fine, but it doesn't reach both of the levelers right here. So you have to improvise just a little bit. What I did was I used my log clamp to raise up that log. That clamp is extremely powerful. It will pick up about any log and move it for you if you need it to. It's really powerful. It's as strong as a loading arms probably, based on the cylinder that's powering it. Really strong. And what I do is I raise it up until I get my pith level where I want it. In this case it's 14.5 inches, and then find something to slide underneath there, and in this case 2x4s fit perfectly in that gap to fill that in so I can get the pith leveled for the first cut. Now for you guys out there running manual sawmills, you can still get this done. You can either take your tractor and put a hook on it, try to raise one end of it up until you get it where you want it and throw some wedges in there, or if you have enough clearance under your bed, you can put a floor jack under there and a few 4x4s and use that to raise it up. And in case you're wondering, Mama Cat's in here with us today, and there's a rumor going around that she may be getting a friend here in a few weeks. Got the first 2 slabs cut. Everything went pretty good. Didn't hit any rots or nails or nothing like that in this bark. The blade went through there pretty good, no trouble sawing it. Using the 747 blades here on the sawmill today. I really like those blades. I'm actually still on the first one, and I've sawed about 500 feet with it so far. That's why I'm going kind of slow with it today. It's kind of dull, but it's still cutting true, so I'm gonna leave it on there and see if we can get this whole log done with it. Our width so far, these top ones are about 17 inches. That will get wider as we start cutting down through the heartwood here. And down here, we're looking at 19 inches. So as we get down here, especially on the swell that's right here in the middle, should get to over 20 inches, maybe about 24. And if I could describe this stuff to you, the smell of it, Bott's Elder has a very distinctive odor to it. And it smells like an old antique store. If you've ever been downtown in some old cities and gone to these antique stores where they have old furniture and old metal and iron and stuff like that, it has an odor to it. You know what it smells like. You walk right into it and it just hits you in the face. And this stuff smells like an antique store. That's exactly what it smells like. Last time I sawed it up, I noticed that odor, and I was trying to, place where I smelled that before, and it's an antique store. Very odd, it smells like that. So let's take these first 2 slabs off and see how we did. We got a lot of flame on the top right here. Got some good red color coming through. And I'm thinking we should be good here, guys, on having some nice spalted flaming Bott's Elder on these slabs. So let's pull them off and take a look at them. I guess we'll put these at the end of the sawmill to look at them. I'm running out of room in here. I got to load that kiln up, start drying some wood. Gosh, this stuff stinks. It's about 24 inches here at the widest point. That's pretty good. That's what we was after. When we saw these slabs, the wider the better, because that's the more money they'll bring. Move the camera there just a little. Right here at the bottom is that spalting we talked about at the first of the video. You can see it coming up through here. And as this stuff air dries in here on stickers, it will actually spalt even more. Even though it's already been sawed up, the spalting will continue to occur all through this piece right here. So before we get back to sawing, let's throw some water on this one and see how these flames look when the water hits it.